All right, I've had this bike for a long time now, about a year and a half. So I wanted to update you guys on some things that I've done to it. Kind of a long-term review, if you will. I'll start with the tires. This thing came with a dissector in the rear and an assegai, however you say it, in the front. I put the dissector up in the front. I put a recon out back. It took a little bit of weight off the bike, and it also made it a bit quicker. So I like to boogie, I like to move uphill, downhill, and it definitely made the bike lighter and faster. The other big thing I did was I put a Fox 34 performance fork on it. So I bought this used. I got it for about $400, and I think I sold the Lyric for maybe $500. So overall, it was a net gain. Didn't cost me anything to do it. The reason I went to this was because of the lockout feature. So this fork does have a true lockout. If you lock this thing all the way down, you really can't compress this thing whatsoever. So when I ride it, I usually ride it fully open. But if I want to really bomb up a hill, or if I just want the responsiveness out of the bike, I'll actually lock it down and use it in the full lockout position. So there's that. I did upgrade the seat again. I tried a couple different seats. I'm a big fan of this Ergon SMC 4M. It's got some gel in it. It's pretty comfortable, and it only weighs about, I think, 280 or 290 grams. So considerable improvement. I'm enjoying it. I also got the Ergon grips. So the grips that came with the bike, they wore out pretty quick. I've had these the Ergon GA2. I had them on another bike that I owned for a while, and they lasted well. They got good grip. I like the size of them. So they're going to stay on there. Right now the bike weighs in about, it's actually just under 28 pounds. So that's with the different tires. The fork is actually a lot lighter than the Lyric. So it's about, I think it's about 300 grams lighter than the Lyric is. And the other thing that I noticed was less stiction on this fork versus the Lyric. I know this is the performance model, so technically it's the next model up from the Lyric that came on the bike. But it did seem like it had less stiction. It's a really smooth fork. It's very nice. Really enjoying it. It's a 34 versus the Lyric, which I think was a 35. So it's not quite as stiff, which I really haven't noticed. I don't take the bike and use it as a downhill bike. I use it mostly as an all-arounder kind of trail bike. There's some downhill sections where I pick up some good speed. But, you know, overall, the 34 is perfectly adequate for the type of riding that I do. This here is a 51 millimeter offset fork, which the bike came with it was a 42. And Fox makes a 51. I think they make a 44. They're two sizes. So when I got it and put it on, I was a little concerned that I was gonna like pick up a big difference in how the bike rode overall. That number definitely does affect the trail of the bike, and it affects how it tracks a little bit. But honestly, I'm not super sensitive to that kind of stuff. And if no one ever told me it was different, I don't think I'd notice it whatsoever. One other thing that I'll add, actually a couple other things. The back wheel, this is DT Swiss. It's got a 370 hub on it. It's an M1900 wheel set. And the hub, it only has 18 points of engagement, which for the most part is fine. I do wish, however, that I could go a little bit higher on the engagement, which you could. DT Swiss now makes what they call is the Ratchet LN upgrade kit. So I can go to either a 36 or a 54, which I'm going to do. The only downside is you need two ring nut removal tools. One to pull the old ring nut out, and the other to put the new one in. And those tools, they could be quite expensive. So I'm trying to figure out an economical way of doing this. But it's definitely something that I'm going to do in the future. I will say, and I know I said this before, the SLX package in general is fantastic. The brakes are fantastic. Shifting performance is excellent. I wouldn't change them for anything. I mean, if you offered me something better, I don't even know if I'd put it on the bike. These things just work really, really well. I did have, the only thing that happened to the bike, whole time I've owned it, is this screw here on the shifter popped out. I lost it. I found another screw. I put it in there. Other than that, I have not done a single thing to this bike. I take care of it. I clean it. I don't wash it with water. I do more of a dry cleaning with some quick detailer. But it's really been excellent, and I really can't say enough good things about the bike, the build quality, the components that are on it. So quick review, quick update to the review. I know some of you were interested in these. The new models did just come out not too long ago, and they definitely jacked the price up. But you know, as we know, the price has kind of been jacked up on everything over the last few years here. So if you can get your hands on an older one, leftover model, I know they were on sale. I think they're all sold out now. But overall, this is a really great bike. Super happy with it.